What's up, everybody? I'm Jesse, or GameOverJesse as all of you may know me. Here with us, as always, for the Highlands Gamescast Zelda Mailbag is Daniel.
Hello!
Yes. Today, on this episode, we're going to be answering your Zelda questions sent in. If sometimes we get so many questions, we can't quite answer every single one of them. But if you would like your question guaranteed to be featured on the show, head over to patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can donate just $1 to get a bunch of cool stuff, like being on videos, being guests on podcasts, and getting your questions answered like this. Who is our first question from, Daniel?
Okay. Well, he asked in the chat, and I said I was going to pop it into the question to save it. RPG, the one and only, says, do you think Amiibo will have a great part in the next Smash Bros? They seem to be phasing them out rather quickly. What do you think, Jesse?
I think, I don't necessarily think they're phasing them out. I just don't think that there are games that are giving it a big push at the moment. They had a lot of success at the beginning with games like Smash Brothers. Mario Party had some cool Amiibo that had moderate success. And then I think the next big Amiibo line came with Breath of the Wild, because those sold out super quick. Even the 30th anniversary Zelda, which was gearing up for Breath of the Wild, sold really well. I think the next big lineup is going to come with Pokemon, because Pokemon anything sells. And we also have a new Smash Brothers coming out, so we could get another wave of the Smash Brothers Amiibo success. So that's my thoughts.
I agree. I don't actually think they're phasing them out. They're putting one out for Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So it's I think they're they can sell an Amiibo for it, they will. Amiibos have been a huge success for Nintendo.
Yeah, the thing is, they're not phasing them out. It just seems that way because stores don't have them, because they're all selling out.
It's true, and
so
they
quite
are
the
probably
opposite.
Just maybe not releasing as many at a time. Like the first wave of Amiibo, they released a lot of variety. So like it was like the first 20 characters in Smash released as Amiibo. So they did Smash in 3 waves, and that's like 20 characters per wave-ish, ballpark. And so since we've been getting games that maybe don't have as many characters in them as Smash, they haven't been releasing as many all at once. So that I don't think they're phasing them out. They're just maybe being more conservative with how they are, or with how many characters they're putting out at a time.
Yeah. But
I think Smash is what started Amiibo, and I don't think that they're gonna quit with such a successful market for the next one. I'm gonna cry a little if they do release all the characters again for Smash that are different Amiibo, because like I have so many, and I'm like, I'll be very conflicted because I want to buy the new ones, but I've got the old ones. I think the best thing to do for Smash would be to re-release all of them again, the whole Smash lineup again.
Yeah,
maybe
but they might have the
higher
character
quality
changes. Like Link's going to be Breath of the Wild Link, Zelda possibly Breath of the Wild Zelda, although I think Twilight Princess Zelda still matches the best.
Yes, for Smash I think so, but we'll see what happens. Breath of the Wild Zelda is not a fighter like Twilight Princess 1 Zelda is, so I think if they, for characters that are the same, you can just re-release them, and maybe just update some of them, but not all the characters need an update necessarily. So
yeah,
we'll see, because I have a feeling they'll change a lot of the character designs, not just Mario and Link, but I think Samus will have her Samus Returns design rather than Other M design, for example. Just because, well, maybe I'm just hoping because that design's way cooler, but yeah.
Well, our next question comes from Patreon supporter The One, who has his own YouTube channel. You guys should go check out. He says, GameOverJesse, King Bergerson, if you could design and implement your own Zelda item into a new game, what would it be and what function would it have? So a brand new item. Daniel, you give your answer to this, and I will be back in 2 seconds. I'm getting an important call.
Well, gosh, that's hard. I should have prepared for this question. A brand new item. Oh, lordy. Every time I keep thinking of what new item would be, like they actually make it in a Zelda game. But I think similar to like the grapple, the grappling hook as it was in Phantom Hourglass. That's what the game is called, where you can kind of hook it between two things. Because it was cool how it worked in Wind Waker, where you can throw it on things and climb it, but anything that helps you traverse the world I think is a cool item. Basically, that's why hookshot is so popular, because it helps you move better, basically, and reach new areas. So I'd love to see something like that where, but like you could hook the grappling hook between two things and climb it or balance beam it if you want, like tightrope walk it, I guess, or use it to slingshot yourself like you do in Phantom Hourglass. I guess this is not really a new item though, because it's actually been done. So I think that's exactly how it was used in Phantom Hourglass, so I need to come up with something better. You guys in the chat are killing me here. A shotgun? A helicopter? An Apache helicopter? Infinity Gauntlets? Sure, man. Lightsaber? All good suggestions. You know, the Guardian swords are kind of like lightsabers. Kinda. This very different design, but... yes. That's guys, this is a hard question. I'm so sorry. This is hard. A brand new item. You think of things and they're like real world things, and then like how fun would they actually be able to use it in the game, and then it kind of falls apart. But Jesse, you're back-ish, sort of. He's not back. He's still on the phone. They are lightsabers, but I never thought of it. Yes, RPG. They pretty much are lightsabers. Different styles of lightsaber. But yeah, they're just like energy swords. Rollerblades. I guess the hover boots are like flying rollerblades, right? A bunny ray gun. See, because my first thought when we read the question was, I'd love something that you can like put it down somewhere and then you could warp back to it. And I thought, oh, that's Pharaoh's Wind. Oh, and also it's also the travel medallion.
Hello?
So, Jesse.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time with this question,
oh, yeah.
and I'm all alone.
I don't know what you've said so far, so I hope I don't repeat anything that you've said. I had a phone call from an annoyance, but the plus side is I was able to talk to my daughter for a few minutes, or a minute, Ooh. So it wasn't all bad. So recap what you've said so far.
So I said that this question is really difficult because I keep thinking of ideas and they're already in the games.
I know what I want.
Okay, what do you want?
No, finish what you were saying and then I'll do it. Because mine is something that kind of has been done, so it's something.
Well, that was mine too. It was
that
like, oh
isn't.
No. I started saying it and I was like, oh, that's actually done already.
No, so mine is something that hasn't necessarily been done, but it has. So it's something that people, whenever they hear, probably be like, Nintendo wouldn't do that. But then it's like, well, they've done that like 5 different times before. It was just used for different things.
What was it?
Go with yours, and then I'll do mine.
Okay, so mine, I talked about using like a grappling hook to connect to two things. You can tightrope walk it or climb it, like hang and climb from it, and slingshot. And then it kind of occurred to me that was already in Phantom Hourglass.
Skyward Sword.
And Skyward Sword.
Didn't they have that?
No, well, there were tightrope walking parts, but you couldn't like connect the rope.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking of an item where you could put it down and you could warp back to that, and I realized that that's both the travel medallion and Pharaoh's Wind. So that's in 2 games already. Yeah. Yes.
Is that what you said?
No, that's what they said in the chat.
All right. So mine was a bird call, similar
So
to
like the horse call.
Yeah, similar to the horse call or the reefs that you could call, like as Wolflink, you could call the giant bird that you could fly on.
Right.
Have a Loftwing call.
Ooh.
I want a damn Loftwing. I want it so bad.
That would be such a good end game thing in Sky and like a open world
Yes.
game like Breath of the Wild. End game for
So
sure.
it's not a weapon, but it is an item.
Yes.
Although maybe you could use it to fly into something and attack it. Like I think you could do that in Skyward Sword against Leviathus.
Levias.
Yeah, Levias. That's his name. The giant
Yes.
whale that had the tumor that was taking over his body.
Evil
The,
tumor.
the parasitic
parasite.
tumor. Yeah. And then
Yes.
like you had to like fly into the eyeball or something like that to attack it. Or maybe it had the enemies that came out. You had to fly. It's been like 4
Had to
years
spin
since I beat
dash
the game.
into it.
So, but yeah, that's essentially what I want. Jesse needs the return of the Loftwings.
You know what? What I really want is just a companion character that fights as well, like alongside you.
Yeah,
That's really what I want. So it's not an
the
item.
random NPCs that you would find in Breath of the Wild, but they just come
Yeah.
along with you.
Yes, and they're also like smart. They won't walk into stuff, and they won't get stuck. You know, it's just like a really useful companion character. I think a good example of that I used to have on the GameCube. This game, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's very
it's
good.
a joke.
Oh, okay, you have heard of it. Okay.
That's like the most popular
I was a little
Prince
worried.
of Persia game.
Yes, it's good. But the character Farah, she's your companion character, and then she helps you solve puzzles. And then also when you get into a fight, she actually is freaking useful. She actually
So have
fights.
you played the new God of War?
Gosh of War?
Yes.
No, I haven't actually.
Have you seen trailers or anything?
Yes,
All right,
yes, I have.
so
Where your son.
Yeah, I've
shoots
made
stuff.
the joke that it is the best Zelda game to release on PlayStation 4 and the best Zelda game to release in 2018. So I make that joke, but I also follow it up with, whenever I say the 2018 part, until the end of the year, because I strongly believe we will get a new Zelda game, not Hyrule Warriors, which is already confirmed, which we talked about. Were you in the video? Or you edited the video? The Zelda games in 2018, 2019 to 2020. And there was a lot of people that commented on it. I was like, Hyrule Warriors isn't coming to the Switch. It's already here.
It's here.
So, is it here?
It's
have
there. It exists.
People have it. I don't know if I can say that, but I know people that do have it. So, there's that. But I was right about that. And I thought that was an if. Like, that was something that I thought could happen, but I wasn't sure on. The Zelda game coming at the end of the year is something I am 99% sure of. But
I like those odds.
yeah, it's either a remake or a 2D game is what it's going to be. It's going to be Ocarina of Time HD or a 2D Zelda game. Because they've been working on something for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what it is. If it's a brand new IP, I'm going to be mad.
Oh, it might be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Anyways,
Yes.
what was I talking about?
New items.
Yeah, but there was...
Other than Loftwing. Hyrule Warriors.
No, it was before Hyrule Warriors. I was off the topic of that. I was like converting to something.
I don't know. It's gone now. Next question.
Well, anyway, someone said Invisibility Cloak in the thing.
Oh, that's in A Link to the Past.
Invisibility?
Well, you turn invisible.
Okay, and then I was going to say the stone mask was in...
There's that too. Yeah.
So not necessarily a cloak. But
with the cape, it's called the magic cape in A Link to the Past. You turn invisible, and also you become invulnerable, which is neat. But it drains your magic power so it's like the invisibility cloak combined with Neighbor's Love. And you can just there's this one puzzle You just have to walk over this hallway, and the floor is just spikes. But if you have the magic cape, it's just no big deal. But
Yeah.
there's pretty much only enough magic in your magic meter to get from one end to the other, and not to get back. So, yeah, you just gotta try and book it back afterwards, and hopefully you have enough hearts.
So we have two very nice comments. Rabbit23 GSO, I believe, says, I want to thank y'all for your podcast. I love them so much. I'm on my way home, and this is the best medicine.
Oh.
And then Night Pasta says Jesse is bae. So
That's
I
true
guess there's
also.
that.
Thank you both. Losing Limo says, I thought that was a rod, not a cape. There's
The rod
also
made
the
you
cane
jump.
of Birna.
There was something that made you jump. Like you would jump,
In
use
A
it
Link
to
to the
jump over
Past?
rocks.
No, not in A Link to the Past.
No,
In Minish Cap, there's the cape
hold
that
on.
makes you jump. And in Link's Awakening, there's the feather that makes you jump. But the rod, there's the fire rod, the ice rod, there's the cane of
Link to the
Birna, the cane of
Past.
Samaria.
Rod.
Cane of Birna also makes you invulnerable, and also surrounds you with a little swirly thing that hurts everybody else. It hurts all your enemies. Rock Feather makes you jump. Yes, Ice Fire, 149. Rock Feather is not in A Link to the Past, though. That's Link's Awakening. There's a Rock Cave in the Oracle games to jump. And also
Maybe that's where I'm getting
Minish
mixed up.
Cap. Oracle games, Minish Cap, and Link's Awakening.
I think I got
are
confused with the cane
jumping.
of Burnia, whatever it's called, that protects
Cane
you.
of Birna.
Yeah.
Yes, there is that as well.
So
They are all good items to have.
our next question comes from Losing Limo.
Yes.
Says
This question.
GameOverJesse, King Bergerson. I haven't even read the question yet. If you ate a Zora egg, how would you have it cooked, scrambled, poached, boiled, etc.? Also, what do you think it would taste like? I had my first poached egg when
Ever? Like in your whole life?
when I went on the trip with to Nashville to hang out with the band Escape the Fate. When we went out to brunch with the
Right.
drummer, because their concert was that night, but we hung out the entire day. So it was early in the morning, we went out to brunch. We went to some brunch restaurant that was super duper expensive. But I had poached egg and potatoes and something else, and it was delicious. I had never had poached egg before, so I didn't know how it would taste, but it was awesome. And yeah, so but I would say scrambled. I would have the Zora
Really? Okay.
egg. I don't know how fish eggs taste. I've only had
Thing.
bird eggs.
They would be very different.
So maybe a
Yes.
Rito egg I would eat.
Ooh.
But
This
do you
feels
think
very unethical to me.
do you think Ritos lay eggs like
Oh, yeah, they're birds.
Well, yeah, but like do you think they only lay eggs when it's necessary, or do you think they lay eggs like chickens do even when they're not fertilized?
Oh, good question.
Because
don't know, man.
from Wind Waker, like you never see Rito eggs just lying around.
Yeah.
So I would imagine they only have them when it's necessary, not as obviously not for them as a source of food, because that would be cannibalism.
Yes. New.
But I don't think they have eggs like chickens do. So if you
No.
did eat the Zora egg or a Rito egg, because technically they're the same race, well, different races, but evolution of the same. I
Right.
imagine it would be like in the process, you would have to be killing the baby to eat it.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would do it, but I imagine it would taste like a nasty ostrich egg. I don't know what an ostrich egg tastes like, but like a nasty version of that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't like fish eggs to begin with. So,
I've
like,
never
because they
ate
are
fish
very
eggs.
different than, like, a chicken egg that you can buy. So it's, they're prepared very different. They're texture is very different. You couldn't poach. I don't think you could poach it, you know, or scramble it.
It's like they're already in the water.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't think it would work, man. You'd have to eat it with like sushi or caviar, yeah, or something. And yeah, I just already
don't eat Azor eggs. Keep Link vegan.
Already not.
Newsflash. Breath of the Wild. I'm sure you could have like an all vegan diet in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can eat just mushrooms and plants and stuff, but
yeah, but everybody knows the meat is
truffles.
Where all the hearts are.
Unless you get some hearty radish.
Yeah.
And hearty truffles. But then a hearty salmon trumps it all, so...
I want to look at the list. I know it's in the guidebook for Breath of the Wild, but I don't think they have it organized to where it's like whatever the best things are at the top. I think it's in like alphabetical order or something. And then there was the list. Like, I don't think it tells the mills. It might do some of the mills, but I remember there was when the translation team, or when Nintendo of America was playing Breath of the Wild for the first time before the game launched.
Right.
I think it was the translation team. Nintendo of Japan, or some of the one of the teams at Nintendo of Japan that was working on specifically the food items were like, hey, if you need help, we can send you the list of all of the food items and recipes and stuff. But there was like 900 different recipes. So the people were like, no thanks. Because it was like too much to go through. Because you can, like, 900 or whatever it was sounds like a lot. But if you think about it, like, you can combine 1 egg with 1 apple. You can combine 2 eggs with 1 apple. You can combine 3 eggs with 1. So you can do like combinations of all of these things using different numbers. So I imagine there is like hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of combinations.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that like, if you're gonna make, let's just say, tasty simmered fruit, and you want to put in some fleet lotus and swift carrots and mushrooms, and the different amounts of those technically all will give you different properties of the hearts and how much your speed boost will be and how much that'll last. They're all the same meal, but they all have different properties based on how much of which ingredient you're putting in. So technically, they're all different recipes, even if it's just one thing is different, or you have one more something. So it's like there's probably thousands of combinations, you know,
so
for all the different food.
Was Majora's Mask the only Zelda game that had Zora eggs? Skyward Sword had the Perilla eggs.
Yeah, which I think became the Zoras, the Perellas.
Yeah.
But,
like if
I can't think of any other games that had Zora eggs.
If a fish can evolve into a bird, then I imagine a jellyfish can evolve into a fish. That seems less drastic than the Rito.
Yes. So,
because the eggs look the same as well, don't they?
The which?
The eggs.
I think so. And the Perella already look kind of Zora-ish.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
the Gorons just stay the same.
They're just rocks.
Alright, take us to our next question, Mr. Daniel.
Yes. So, that's a good... Okay, so this comes from Game Over Night of Ashelda.
Yeah, also everyone in the chat, give us your questions in the live chat right now, or join our Discord group. One of the people who's already in our Discord group post a link to the Discord group so the new people watching can join, and then you can post your questions there. Or if you're in the live chat, you can just post them as well.
Yes. So, Game Over Nights of Ashelda asks, GameOverJesse, King Bergerson, sorry if a little late, but what type of government you think in the real world would fit with each race? Also, for a reward for collecting all of the Korok seeds, you should instead get a Korok bomblet that would instantly kill an enemy instead of a piece of poop. I agree, you shouldn't get poop as a reward.
Okay, so one thing that would be a little bit better than getting just a piece of poop, although the effect of the poop is kind of cool. It makes the beam longer or more powerful or something.
Oh, does it?
I think so. When you charge up your sword beam and you throw it, it makes it go further.
But so does wearing the Twilight Princess Link costume.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you wear the full set,
that should be something on Skyward Sword Link, not Twilight Princess.
It should be. I actually don't have the Skyward Sword set, so it might be that as well.
That's odd. Anyways, after you get the 900 Korok seeds, same as the Deku seeds, he should give you a slingshot and be like, now you have all this ammo, go have fun.
Yes.
So it's
you
like
have 900 seeds of ammo.
You get like a weaker version of the bow and arrow, but you'll get every 10 shots you take, because to have a slingshot, it would obviously be weaker than the bow and arrow, but you could have it so that it stuns the enemies for like 10 seconds each, kind of like in Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. It kind of stuns the enemies for a bit, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Or is that just Queen Goma?
I don't know anymore.
Yeah. Alright, so
I don't know.
It'll either stun it, or each shot is a one-hit kill, but you only have the 900. So once you're out, like, you can still get more, but it's insanely expensive.
Yes.
But their one-hit kills would be cool. That way people wouldn't look at it and be like, why would I use that if I have a bow and arrow?
Yeah.
So if they do different things, then... Like, if you could shoot and stun...
Interesting idea.
If you could stun a Lionel for 10 seconds, like, that would make on par with the bow and arrow.
Mm-hmm.
So, just my thought.
Yes.
Some
the other half of the question is real-world governments fit with each race. Obviously, the Hylians is a monarchy.
I think the Gorons would have... they would vote on whoever was the most brotherly to be in charge.
Yeah, like
because it's not King Darunia.
No, he's the chief.
Yeah, so I think they just like vote, I guess.
Yes, it's more like an alpha thing, you know, like the one who's
like
the
a
strongest. Yeah.
Well, no, not the strongest,
like
because in Twilight Princess, the patriarch wasn't
Darbus
the leader.
Is the patriarch.
He wasn't the leader.
But really, the elders were like, I think he was like officially the leader. He was the patriarch, but the elders were really running things.
Okay.
You know, they were the real deal, kind of behind the scenes, though.
The Zoras have a monarchy as well.
Yes. The Gerudo seemed the most democratic.
She's not queen.
I don't know. She's the chief as well.
But she's not queen.
But her mother was also the chief. She inherited.
Although Ganondorf was king.
That's true.
But I think that was just something like he just took that title.
Mm-hmm. Probably. And I know that, like, with Riju, she's not like the queen, she's the chief, but she wasn't elected or voted in. She was, she inherited it from her mother, right? Her mom died, so
maybe
she was...
it's something that, like, you have to prove yourself. And she was able... Like, if your mother was the chief or whatever, and you were able to prove yourself after she's gone, then you're able to become that. Otherwise, someone else can step in to prove themselves.
But then I don't... Well, maybe she just went and challenged then. Because I was like, she's a little kid, you know? So, like, as far as proving herself goes, what would they put her through to prove herself? If it's combat, then... she would be bested by any of the other Gerudo, Bularia, chief among them.
Unless she was just really good.
Unless, like
when Link was when he was a kid, they said he was able to beat all the others, so maybe she was too. And then it would be similar to Black Panther. If you ever seen that, because you can challenge, you can challenge to become the king, but you have to be able to beat the person who's already there.
Maybe no one wanted to. They're just like, what's the point?
It's like, who wants to pick on this?
I don't want that. I don't want to fight this kid.
No. Who else is it? The Rito.
Oh, someone said in the chat, Xenostriger probably could have won that kind of challenge if she can use the Thunder Helm. It's because the Thunder Helm would protect her, right? It puts like a shield around her. Such having the Thunder
if they have
ability.
lightning attacks.
Yeah.
So what about the Rito?
The Rito.
Or is...
So many of these races, their leaders are just called the Chief.
Hold on.
We also have to think, are we talking about Wind Waker Rito or Breath of the Wild Rito? Because the Wind Waker Rito are more like a corporation.
they're the postmen.
Yeah.
they're the post birds.
They're the postmen. Exactly. Whereas Breath of the Wild's Rito...
It's like we have no government. We are the post birds.
They have no government. They have a CEO. Yeah, the Breath of the Wild Rito seem very
a little
more
weird.
tribal.
With the Rito on
Yeah.
Zelda Wikia, it says the Rito race are inspired by the Watara race in the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time manga, though generally not considered to be canon, as revealed in a joined interview by Aonuma and the manga artist at the end of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past manga. So the Watara is a race, it's a bird race from the Ocarina of Time manga, but was not in the actual game. But Aonuma did say Rito were inspired by them, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
Where do they fight in? Link first discovers the Watara while fishing as he finds Prince Rauru, and he is identified by Dr. Mizumi in Lakeside Laboratory. The prince is revived, but is snooty and mean to those around him. He tortures Navi, and Link is upset by his behavior. When a tornado appears on Lake Hylia, and Link goes to fight the monsters inside, he teaches Rauru the meaning of courage. There you go, people. If you ever quote the manga as being canon for the games, when you say that in Majora's Mask manga, Majora is a beast and Fierce Deity makes him dance to kill him and turn him into a mask, just go away. Because at no point does that ever happen. At no point in Ocarina of Time does Link fight monsters inside a tornado at Lake Hylia.
No, that never happens.
Although it is in the manga, and it just said, although not considered canon by the creator of the game, it still happens in the manga.
Yes.
There's no tornadoes at Lake Hylia with monsters inside them.
I'm still thinking about the government thing. The Rito in Wind Waker, the leader's called the Chieftain, but Kamali is referred to as Prince Kamali.
Oh yeah.
So
is there a king? Was his dad dead?
Because his dad's the chieftain. Because his dad specifically, he says, like, go see my son, Prince
Now, does
Kamali.
he call himself Prince? Like,
no, but everyone else calls him Prince.
No, but I'm saying, does he tell everyone to call him Prince?
Oh, maybe.
Like, maybe he sees, like, the way it used to be, and was like, if they had princes and princesses when we were Zora, but now we have a chieftain, why can't I still be called Prince? That doesn't seem fair. You're taking my princehood away from me. So he tells everyone, call me Prince or your mail will be delivered late.
He's gonna hold their mail hostage.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, maybe.
What other races are there? The Deku, they follow... That's like a more of a religious thing with the Koroks.
Yeah, they're kind of like,
because the Deku
they don't really have a government. They're just
all
like
just
kids.
Follow their deity.
Yes, they're more like a family.
Yeah.
Who had other races? I guess there's the Mogma. They're like scavengers. No government there. Because they're all pretty much just looking for like food and treasure. They're like treasure hunters.
Yeah.
Deku
Alright.
Scrubs have a king. Losing Limo says. So
We need a few more questions in the chat before we leave. We'll answer 3 more. Does that sound good, Daniel?
that sure does.
All right. Looking through to see right now. As well as area-specific enemies and more variety rather than different colors of the thing. You have to tag us, like put at GameOverJesse, so your question is highlighted.
Yes.
Oracle
Please.
game. I would love to continue where it ended. That thumbnail, 3 swords. Ooh, Jinsu. It's expired. Jesse, you guys are still podcasting. Yes, we're still podcasting.
Yes. We sure are.
No, that's when you have Hyrule Wild. My question is, what would you like to see? Okay, so from Nintendo World, my question is, what would you like to see? Or no, what would you like? What? My question is, what would you like to see if Nintendo decided to release more DLC for Breath of the Wild? Although they are not releasing more DLC, I would like to see traditional dungeons. Just put like 1 dungeon in each of the main areas. Like just being like, most people would say, well, how do you explain the dungeons or the temples not being there before? Just have them rise out of the ground. Be like, that's why they didn't see them
the
before.
shrines.
Yeah.
That were in the DLC.
Yeah, so they just rise out of the ground and you're like, oh, there was a temple there the whole time. You just didn't know about it because it got buried.
Yeah. You just need like the staircase to rise out, you know?
Yeah.
I would choose the like water stuff. Like let's say there's a side quest. You have to take your Zora armor to the smithy, and then it gives you the ability to swim underwater. And then you find in like the ocean area, and there's that giant bay between Eventide Island and the mainland. There's the sort of underwater divine beast that we see from
the concept
art. And then there's not just that added, but now all of the bodies of water in the game, there's stuff to find in there, you know? And if maybe we get iron boots, that would be cool. Iron boots, or just maybe as a built-in function for the Zora greaves, where you could, much like when you put on the Zora mask in Majora's Mask, where you can kind of sink or swim to replace the iron boots.
Yeah, so that's something you mentioned, going to a